Former US President Donald Trump says that his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida has been raided by the FBI with agents breaking open a safe. Now, the search was reportedly part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents, including classified documents. For more on this, we can bring in Thomas Gift now, Director of the Centre on US Politics at University College London. Thomas, great to have you once again. I think it's fair to say that the question of how Donald Trump handled sensitive documents kind of loomed throughout his presidency. But of course, the question is now, how does this fit into a criminal investigation?
Well, look, this is really unprecedented. I mean, you can't go back in history and read about the last time that the Justice Department led an FBI raid into a former U.S. executive, because it hasn't happened. And so, this is, as you suggest, I think, part of a pattern of behavior that Donald Trump seems to have demonstrated both while he was in office and then since he has left office. If you go back to February, for example, the National Archives basically indicated that Donald Trump had taken some documents to Mar-a-Lago and that he had done so in violation of rules surrounding how classified documents were supposed to be dealt with. And so at this point, we don't know a lot about what's unfolding in terms of the investigation. We don't know exactly what type of documents might be of interest to the Department of Justice. We don't know exactly the details of those contents, or even if Donald Trump has them. But what we do know, essentially, is that there had to be some type of probable cause that was demonstrated to a judge in order to execute this search warrant. And so the Department of Justice didn't take this step lightly, and they think that there's something important to undertake such an unprecedented step.
Right, Thomas. You point to it being unprecedented, and that means that we can't necessarily use past as prologue in this case going forward. Nevertheless, though, is there the potential, and I stress potential here, that there could be some kind of mishandling which could constitute as a criminal offence, which could also carry the penalty of prison time?
We really, again, don't know the exact details, and so any speculation would be just that, speculation. But, if a president, for example, does mishandle documents and does so knowingly and intentionally and with the kind of reason to commit some type of a crime, then that could take with it some type of prison sentence. It could also disqualify an individual from running for public office into the future, and so that's certainly one possibility. For me, the real issue here is it just that Donald Trump mishandled documents, and so the department just wants to ensure that these documents were dealt with properly, or is there something substantive in terms of the content of these documents that relate, for example, to January 6th or the effort to overturn the U.S. elections? That I think would be much more substantial. But at this point, again, we just don't know.
Important questions to ask and to be tracking. Thomas Gift there, Director of the Centre on US Politics at University College London. Thanks for being with us, Thomas.
These are dark times for our nation. The statement by Donald Trump after the FBI raid of his Mar-a-Lago home in Palm Beach, Florida. The former US president said in a statement that these raids amounted to a weaponization of the US justice system. And he says that America has become corrupt at a level never seen before. Now, for many people, these words have evoked memories of Donald Trump's call to his supporters before and during the US Capitol riots on January the 6th last year. Of course, those words by the president have now been heavily analysed and scrutinised by a US House Select Committee in a number of high-profile hearings. But this FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago has once again mobilised Trump supporters, not just online, but also on the streets. A number of people gathering outside Mar-a-Lago, waving flags and expressing their anger. Meanwhile, there's also been further ill-feeling online, particularly in pro-Trump and far-right forums and messaging platforms, places like Gab and The Donald, where we've previously seen baseless conspiracy theories being spread. And these are the kind of conversations that are taking place in these forums. Some citizens suggesting that the US is in the midst of a civil war, even calling on citizens to purchase weapons and take up arms against the FBI. For some people, like senior NBC News reporter Ben Collins, these words in these pro-Trump forums are as violent as they were before the storming of the Capitol building in January last year. And there are some people even suggesting that the FBI is trying to prevent Donald Trump from running for the White House once again. But at the same time, analysts are saying that this FBI raid might not just further mobilize Trump supporters, but might also encourage Trump himself to once again run to become the US president in 2024.